But people are physically living longer, even if you think they can't work longer.
Yeah.
And what would you do? I mean, the economics of that are very dangerous.
Right. Fortunately, most Americans don't want the government, just to pay for their retirement plan. Whenever they're asked, do you want to cut back on Social Security? Do you want to work longer? Or do you want to save more for your retirement? People choose, I want to save more for my retirement. Many people, when asked, would put more money towards their Social Security so they could get more Social Security money. So what is important to realize is that people feel that they need to save for their retirement, but they need a safe, effective, automatic platform to do it. The 401k system just doesn't cut it. We've run this experiment for the past 40 years. 40 years ago, 401ks became the more popular way that some employers, the employers who chose to, would provide retirement accounts. But now, after 40 years, only half of people at any one point in time are even in a 401k type plan, or even an IRA, or a traditional plan, which is becoming a teeny part of retirement coverage.
Okay. I think these are the points we start to disagree about. I mean, she's great. I'm not saying that she's not. She's hitting on some good points. But once again, she's kind of pulling the victim card that I hear a lot when it comes to the 401k. And I'm not saying that the 401k is perfect. It does have its pros and cons. But once again, we have this accountability shift of the 401k is not working. The 401k is not working. The 401k, once again, is not a golden parachute. It's only one of several ways that you're going to fully fund your retirement. So I think putting all your eggs in this one basket, like the 401k is going to do it. Well, if the Social Security wouldn't do it, and that's an automatic savings, that means that from every time that you work, there's going to be FICA taxes taken out of that payroll. That is a forced savings out of the Social Security, and we see what happens with the Social Security. Now, the 401k is going to be voluntary. All employers don't have the 401k, but they're also working on some strategies where they're going to automatically enroll people into 401ks, and then you have to kind of unenroll, because when it's voluntary, I mean, you want the most out of your check. When you first get your first job, you want all the money that you can because you're trying to survive, or you're trying to have the lifestyle that you want to enjoy. So every dollar matters. You're not thinking about taking part of the money that you already have, which may be little to none, and putting it somewhere for your future. You're not thinking that. So having an employer put the money in and then start matching, maybe you'll start catching on to how important or how influential a 401k can be in managing your 401k, or excuse me, in saving for your retirement.
At any one point in time, half of the workforce is not saving for retirement, and when asked, they want to. So we need actually a bold proposal to get help everybody save for their retirement.
So how do you feel about
Social Security?
How do you feel about forced savings, sort of a la Australia, a 401k plan that's a requirement?
It's actually the only way that countries, advanced capitalist market economies, have found that people will be secure in retirement. A universal pension system, just like our universal Social Security system. I'm in favor of mandatory savings, just like I'm in favor of mandatory Social Security. Why? It's not because I'm ideological about it. It's because practically it's the only system that works.
So this is what I don't like. One is, if you say Social Security is not good, right? That is tapping into a trust fund because they are paying out more than actually being taxed into Social Security. And that if something doesn't change, then by 2035, it looks like there's going to be a Social Security cut, right? Then you're saying that the 401k doesn't work, but then you're talking about forced savings. So if the 401k doesn't work, then why are you forcing people to save into the 401k? And she's saying a universal pension system. Well, we found out that the pensions are fading away because, one, they're expensive to manage. Two, that a lot of people didn't qualify for those pensions because they didn't meet those markers. Maybe they didn't stay at a job for 20 years and then they fell short, or only got a percentage. They weren't all the way vested. And that's a problem too. So, people are staying in jobs they don't really care about. So what about quality of life? Trying to get an extra year or two to qualify for this pension. And then what if you get let go, right? So there's a lot of things that are wrong with the idea of a forced savings. But as I said before, they're working on ways where they can enroll you, and then you have to unenroll if you want to get out of the 401k. Now, my frustrating part, this is me being frustrated. This has nothing really to do with financial advising. It has to really do with the financial industry, is because we coddle people too much. Now, everyone's not on the same level. Everyone doesn't know about finances. Everyone's not competent. You know, there's different levels to how you are going to engage with your finances. But my issue with her comments are people want to save more. That's what they say. People say all kinds of things that they think are right. If you interview someone off the street right now and say, do you want the government to take care of you, or do you want to save for yourself? She's like, oh, I want to save for myself. Of course, no one's going to say, no, I'm just going to stay at home. I have the government pay for my stuff, because we have millions of Americans who are doing that. They're staying at home, letting the government pay for whatever they want to get done. And that's what it is. So the idea that people want to be hard working Americans and earn their keep and save their money is delusional. I don't think there's a majority of people out there that are that self-sufficient that says, I don't want a handout, right? We have the welfare system in place for situational things. If I lost my job, or if I couldn't work anymore and I need to transition and I needed food stamps for any rhyme or reason, I would hope that there was a welfare system where I could get some temporary food until I can go out there and find me a job and get back into the workforce, right? But if you say that, oh no, I'm not going to take that, and no, my family's just going to starve until I find a job. Come on, let's be very realistic here, right? So we're not trying to get on our high horse and say we should do away with it because no one needs a safety net. Every now and again, life happens. So I'm happy about that. So my issue, let's get back on topic here, or let me get back on topic here. My issue with this kind of universal pension, this forced savings, is that she's trying to strip people of their ability to save by forcing savings. And that's a little bit different than someone being educated and making a conscious choice. You're saying you're not smart enough to save for yourself, so we have to do it for you. And I think people have the intelligence to do it. I just think it's not popular. You know, people will learn anything. We learned about AI. We learned about how to get on the internet. We learned how to send emails. We learned about cellular phone, but it became so popular that you couldn't avoid it. If we can make 401ks and saving for retirement so in your face that you just have to do it, I think we'll do a lot better.